first time I met him, he literally was like, cool, I don't give a shit who you are, go fetch me some water. What's going on, everybody? So typically I don't do videos like this, but I felt like I needed to do this, and I think this is more for me because you guys know what I'm about to talk about. I'm about to talk about Jimmy Moore, and if you don't know who Jimmy Moore is, back when I started the ketogenic diet back in 2014, 2015, Jimmy Moore was the man. Like, he was all about fasting, you know, wrote a bunch of books on keto, well-recognized author, and I remember, you know, seeing him at conventions, seeing him at expos. I'm like, oh man, that's Jimmy Moore, that's Jimmy Moore. And it's just crazy what has transpired. So for those of you who don't know this, Jimmy Moore has been arrested and he's been accused of, I think, 7 accounts of cardinal knowledge. So if you don't know what cardinal knowledge is, essentially what that is penetration of a minor. Yes, it's absolutely fucking disgusting. It's gross. For me personally, being a father and having 2 small girls, it's just something that like pisses me off. It angers me because it just makes you feel like, damn, you can't trust nobody, because so many people have met Jimmy. So many people have had conversation with him, been on his podcast, done some type of collaboration. I mean, he's been in this space, this keto space, and that's probably why a lot of you have found my channels, because you have to understand, like, my channel, my core audience, my foundation is keto, fasting, carnivore, low carb, you know, so that is the same space as Jimmy. And I've always said this, guys, vibes don't lie. I've said, if you follow me, I've said it many times, vibes don't lie. And I say this because the first time I ever met Jimmy, it was at, I want to say 2018 Metabolic Health Summit. And I remember seeing him there. I'm like, oh damn, like that's Jimmy Moore. And so I went up to him. I was like, all right, I'm about to, you know, just like want to introduce myself. I go up to Jimmy. I said, hey, what's up, Jimmy? My name's Logan Delgado. Nice to meet you. And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, hey, can you go get me some water? And I'm like, what? I was so thrown off, guys. I was like just imagine like one of my subscribers, someone comes to talk to me like, hey Logan, it's so good to meet you. I'm like, oh yeah, good to meet you. Go fetch me some water. Get out of here. Like, completely blew me off. And that was the first, like, that was incident number 1. I always got a weird sense of him since 2019, especially 2020, and then completely lost the rails in 2021, just from like his Instagram, just from his stories and everything that you heard from him. Like, he went on a sabbatical, which he was updating. It was him, guys. It was him updating his people. Like, he would say, hey, Jimmy's gonna be back in 5 months. Like, Jimmy, who are you fooling? We know it's you writing this. This is not a worker. This is not one of your staff members. This is you writing this. So that was like number 2. It was like, that was just really weird. And then apparently, like, he messaged a bunch of inappropriate things to a lot of girls. You know, as people started sharing this story, I'm like, man, this is crazy, right? And then they would share like, yeah, he would DM me this, he would DM me that. Just a complete creep. And I could totally see that through his Instagram. Like, there was something a little bit wrong with this guy, especially like really following him in 2020, 2021. Like, he was kind of going off in the deep end. And it just goes to show you guys, vibes don't lie. And so many people are coming out of the woodworks and be like, yes, absolutely. He did this to me. He wrote me this. He DM'd me that. I met him. He gave me the creeps. I met him at so-and-so place and he was talking to me inappropriately. Like, so many things are coming to light now that he's been arrested, now that they caught him. Again, I want to say it's 7 counts of cardinal knowledge, which is 7 counts of penetrating a 13-year-old. That is absolutely insane. And again, I feel like I wanted to share this because this is my people. My people, most likely, if you follow this channel, then most likely you know who Jimmy Moore is. And me being a father, like, if this is true, I want to give the benefit of the doubt, right? Like, again, we live in a society where you're innocent till proven guilty, but all the signs and all the red flags are showing he's guilty and his life's over and he deserves to be thrown underneath that jail. I can't imagine how that girl feels, how that girl's family feels, the impact it's going to have on her emotionally throughout the rest of her life. And it just makes me want to watch my girls a lot closer, who they hang around with, who we bring my girls around. You know, my girls, let's say Jimmy didn't get caught and Jimmy went to a keto event. that I always bring my family to. I would be introducing my girls to that effing predator, to that effing scumbag, right? And so it just goes to show you, like, you just never know. So if you're watching this video, understand that vibes don't lie. And if you get the creeps, or if you feel a certain way about somebody, you gotta trust your gut. So that's my personal experience. That is my story with Jimmy Moore. The first time I met him, he literally was like, cool, I don't give a shit who you are, go fetch me some water. Like, who are you? You're nothing. Get away from me. And he's done this to a lot of people. Everybody shares their story and everyone's coming out kind of like, yep, the writing was on the wall. The red flags were there, and it's just finally someone caught him on his bullshit. Someone caught him on his sadistic animal, predator, whatever you want to call him, whatever word you can think of, that is what he is. And it's a sad day. It's a sad day in this community, but it's a good day. One less predator is on the streets. So Jimmy, if you are guilty, dude, you deserve everything that's coming your way. If you're not, you need to clean up a lot of these red flags, because I have a feeling this is not going to be the end. I have a pretty good feeling that a lot of other things are probably going to come up. And I've heard many stories about him with other influencers as well. I'm not going to say any names because it's not appropriate. It's not my right to tell these influencer stories. But I have heard from very close friends that this is not the only person he's tried to pursue in our keto space, that he's really like restraining order type stuff. But again, I don't want to say no names. That's not my job. Maybe they will come out and share their story on their Instagram. Maybe they'll come out on their YouTube channel. But for a lot of people, this is not surprising. This was not surprising, and the vibe said it all. So anyways, guys, that's just my 2 cents on this. It's an awful, awful story. And one less predator is off the street, so that's one good thing.